Hello, and welcome to Midlife Crisis. My name is Aaron, and I invite you to follow along with me and my son Austin on our journey as we build out a few camper vans and customize a new Toyota Tacoma into a beast. Then later in the year, we'll head out to Southeast Asia to ride a couple of adventure bikes through multiple countries, sharing the amazing experience with our viewers and ending our tour in Thailand. There, we will decide what to do next. Maybe buy a sailboat and sail around the world. Who knows? So please hit subscribe and follow us on this adventure. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you enjoyed the Florida videos. As soon as we got back, I started looking for jobs down there. As many of you know, if you've been following the channel, I do commercial real estate, and I make a fairly decent living at it. So I was looking for something comparable down there. There are brokerages that I could go to work for easily overnight, but I was looking for something a little bit more secure, something, management position, and I threw out like 5 resumes off of Indeed, and lo and behold, I got an offer, I got an offer to interview. We'll leave their name out of it just because I don't want to get sued. But it was a county position, and I was to be in charge of all of the commercial real estate owned by the county entity. And went through an initial interview, making sure I was still, interested in the job and my qualifications and so on and so forth. And then they threw me up the chain, and then I had another interview with a really nice lady and one of her cohorts. So we went through that process. I was thinking everything was going well. She had mentioned it was down to me and 2 others, and said that there would be a third interview with the vice president, or the man in charge, basically. And so all this time goes by, and then all of a sudden, oh boom, okay, now we're gonna have a resume. It's county, all right, so everything moves really slow. So eventually we did have that third interview, and I thought everything went well. And one of the comments was, because I'm still here in Arizona, in Phoenix, and it said, how fast can you be here? And I said, I can be there within 2 weeks. I just need to put fuel in the truck and I'm out the door. I'm ready. Kids are old enough, they're going to go get their own place. They're staying here. And he said, okay, that's great. I was thinking it was going to be longer. So, and then, so interviewed for, 45 minutes, and everything went great. And I got ghosted. And so I followed up like you should. You always follow up after an interview, letting them know thank you and appreciate the opportunity and all that good stuff. So then I followed up again the next week. And the next week, and 3 weeks later, and finally, I was doing this on Thursday, so hopefully get an email back on Friday, and finally, on a Tuesday the following week, I get the letter that I wasn't selected. Nobody ever bothered to. That's unprofessional, by the way. Always return your emails. Just let them know you're still waiting your opportunities and whatever. Just be responsive. So, anyway. I'm still stuck here in Arizona. Oh, and isn't it like the devil? Not that I'm a real religious person, but, I'd like to think that I try to do my best and follow the rules now that I'm older. Not when I was younger, not so much. A lot of stories there. And isn't it like the devil to just pop up and give you great opportunities when you're trying to, move or whatever. So I'm thinking about, moving to Florida, and all of a sudden, I do commercial real estate. I get this huge tenant come out of nowhere, and 100,000 square feet, and so I'm working with this tenant and going through the process, thinking I could get them done before I have to move, and in the middle of that, another one pops up, even bigger, 150,000 square feet to 200,000 square feet. And you probably can't judge, what does that mean, monetarily wise. Well, people that sell homes, they make usually you can't say there is a specific commission because that would be illegal. Um, there's no fixing of prices and rates and things. Um, but typical home, real estate agent sale would be 3% of whatever the purchase price. So if it's $100,000 house, they made $3,000. If it's a $300,000 house, they made $9,000. You can do the math from there. In commercial, it's different. We get paid a percentage of the total lease value. So let's say they pay $10,000 a month. That would be $120,000 a year, right? Well, our leases are typically 5 years. So you're looking at $600,000, right? Do the math. So, and then commercial, we usually get paid 3 to 5% commission. So 5% of $600,000 is $30,000, right? I think. Check my math. Tell me below. So a big deal like 100,000 square feet on a 10-year loan, or a 10-year lease, excuse me, and 5% commission. Well, they're paying $1 a square foot. It's 100,000 square feet. It's $100,000 a month in rent times 12 months times 5 years, because then it gets cut in half. It's not 5% commission anymore. It drops down to 2.5% from that 5-year point up to 10 years. So 100,000 a month, 12 months out of the year, for 5 years, 5% of that number. And by the way, it increases 3 to 4% every single year. So it gets more and more and more. And then you do the same thing from 5 years to 10 years. From that high point, continue adding, but you only then take a 2.5% commission. So you're talking a mid 6-figure commission for something like this. A couple of these and you're a millionaire, right? I mean, that's kind of, I know guys in this industry that do industrial and they clear $1 million like every year by the first quarter. Or maybe second quarter. But they still do very well. There's a cat. Did you go see the cat? It's my son's cat. He's fat. He's a huge fat cat. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, I kept applying and doing all this stuff into Florida, and I'm like, what the hell, man? What? Everybody was hot to interview me for a second, and then, hurricane hit, by the way. So yeah, that's pretty sad for all those people out there losing all their homes and everything. But doesn't deter me. I still want to go. And I'm kind of glad that this other job didn't go through, because it was in Fort Lauderdale. And I really want to be on the other side. I want to be on the Tampa side. I used to say it's more protected from hurricanes, but look what happened. And it's funny because we were just there in Fort Myers. I mean, the videos, right? We're just there in Fort Myers and in, all the way down to Naples. And it just got wrecked. But of course, build back better, right? Trump. Sorry. Don't get political. This is not a political channel or religious. But yeah, so back to my point. It isn't like the devil to throw stuff at you to hold you back from doing what you want to go do, right? Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. We're getting one of them done here. It should have the lease signed in a few days, or at least out to us in a few days for signature. And then I'm still working with the other company to see if we can find them something and get them set in. Meanwhile, I still do all my little base hits. That's all I do every year. The bulk of my business is these young entrepreneurs. We call them incubator spaces because they're really small, and that's where you go in and you start your business in 1,500 to 3,000 square feet, and you start building momentum, and then you expand from there. But the bulk of my business, I would say 60% of everything I do is in that 2,000 to 3,000 square foot range. And then you go about 25% in that 5,000-6,000 range, and then I've got a few that are in the 10,000. But rarely, it's once or twice a year you get a big, I need 50,000 square feet, or I need 100,000 square feet, and those are like, hallelujah. Bring them to me. Bring them all to me. I'll do them all. But that's the bulk of the business, and you can still make a very good living in commercial real estate. And so I have that going for me in Florida. If I decide to just go down, there's probably 4 or 5 firms I could just sign with immediately and go that route. But yeah, that's kind of an update. Like I said, I hope you guys like the Florida stuff. Um, it does not look like we are going to be going to Southeast Asia anytime soon. Um, all of the vaccine issues are still in play. Um, I'm not vaccinated, don't plan on getting vaccinated, so there's that. Um, but Thailand does look like you can go into, um, I can't think of the name of the town right now. It's island, the south part of Thailand on the island, Phuket. So Phuket you can get into, and then you just have to stay there for, I think it's 5 days, and you have to have a negative PCR test when you get there, and then you're free to roam the country. Um, and same thing with Philippines. That was one of the other ideas, was we'd ride motorcycles through the Philippines. Philippines, you can get into Cebu and do the same thing down this one of the southern islands, and then of course you can go all around the country as well. Um, I would still love to do that. I would, if I did these 2 deals and made all that money, I'd take a year off and take you with us, or me. I'd go do it by myself. Um, anyway, that's kind of an update. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. We'll see what happens with the Florida stuff. You never know what's going to happen. I keep throwing resumes out there for, higher end corporate jobs, 6-figure income type stuff, and we'll see what happens. Um, don't have much coming up. Oh, yeah, I do. I lied. I'm doing a 14-day Caribbean / Panama Canal / Mexico cruise. That leaves on December 4th, I think. So I'll be taking you with us on that, and we're going to be doing a tour on every single stop that we go to. And it's 14 days. I think there's 7 tours that we'll be doing, and of course we'll take you through the canal, show you all that. That's interesting, tough stuff to me since I've been in construction all my life. Anyway, that's going to be about all we're having come up that's a big deal. I'll try and do some videos. If you guys want anything, just tell me in the comments. If you want me to, I thought about showing you more real estate stuff, more commercial stuff, kind of the buildings and ones that are under construction, and just kind of show you what it is I do and lease, and maybe break down some more numbers for you, a little more detail. If that interests you, I'll do that. Update on the truck. I have it sold. I'm supposed to deliver it to the gentleman this Wednesday. I am taking a big old bath on this thing. Bought it for 40, tax, title, license, all that stuff. That's another 5. I threw 18,000 into it in the videos, in parts, and then of course labor. If you would have paid somebody to do that, labor would have been another $125 an hour. We figured, 40 hours. So there's a chunk of it. And of course, you don't get your own labor back. I understand that. You don't have to tell me in the comments. But had you paid people to do that stuff, you would have easily threw 25,000 into the truck. And what did I sell it for? Oh God, 50 grand. So I'm selling it for 50. So I'm taking about a $10,000-15,000 hit. And I'm actually thinking about buying a 4Runner and doing a little bit of stuff to that one, because I just throw money out the window basically, apparently. But yeah, I was thinking about doing that. Let me know in your comments below. Also, I like the Jeep Grand Cherokee. I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee as well. The son just refinanced that because my lease was up at the end of October, so he refinanced it, got a great little payment. I think he's paying $370 for a really nice car, and he's 20. He's loving it. He's loving it. I'm like, there's your chick magnet, buddy. Go get it. Shh. Anyway, I got to get off this thing. That's enough for now. Let me know, if there's anything you guys want to see as far as commercial or truck off-road, stuff like that. I'd be happy to put some stuff together. But that's it for now. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.